Welcome, everyone, to the Harsh Vocals Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Corbett, along with my co-host, Christian Renner. How you doing today, man?
Not bad. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to be recording.
Yep. Talk about some metal.
Yep, it's always a good time. So this week's topic is, as you saw from the title, battle jackets. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but one of the reasons that I chose that as the topic for this week is that I've been kind of toying with the idea of building a battle jacket, because I never had one before.
I still have my original one that I had in 1985.
Oh, wow.
And I actually still have it, still have the same patches on it. And it's kind of funny because it's all, you can definitely tell what I cut my teeth on because it's all thrash metal all the time. I mean, it's a big Master of Puppets back patch. I got the Metallica Creeping Death going across the top. I got the Metallica Alcoholica 100 proof patch on the front. Creator, Destruction, Slayer. I mean, it's all over the place.
That's cool.
But it's all mainly thrash.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more about that in depth just in a little while. But since some people just tune in probably to hear our recommendations, let's get those out of the way first, and then we'll move on to our actual discussion topics. So the way the show is going to work, since this is our first traditional style episode, our last one was really just a review of 2023, is that every couple of weeks, Christian and I are going to convene and do the podcast, and each one of us is going to bring 3 different albums to the table that we've enjoyed from the past 2 weeks' releases. And we'll play a track from each one, talk about the bands a little bit, and then cover our discussion topics. So let's get right into that.
All right.
So top 3 bands from the past couple of weeks. Christian, why don't you go ahead and give your first one?
All right, I'm going to butcher this because I have no idea how to pronounce this because it's... I'm going to go with Svdestrada or Svdestrada if they're actually using the V as a U. I don't know.
Yeah, they are a black metal band, so I mean, it could be that cult kind of spelling where it's a V in place of a U.
Yeah.
But it's spelled Svdestrada, and they're from Spain.
Yeah, and the album is called Candela. Really, really good record. I mean, one of the things that caught me, this kind of has a lot of the same feelings as that band you and I really got into last year from Tennessee, Sidan.
Oh, yeah.
They give me a lot of the same type of vibes because they got a little bit of that punk vibe to them. Mm-hmm. All with that base of black metal. Very clean, concise songwriting. Mm-hmm. And it definitely has that kind of cold black metal feel, but adding that extra dimension, that punk kind of feel to it, really makes it stand out. And it actually makes it, if black metal could be fun,
yeah,
I guess you'd say this is fun.
Speaking of the Sidan album, Onryo 2 was the name of it. That was like probably the most fun black metal album I've ever heard. It's just upbeat, kind of poppy. All the songs are dark and grim like they're supposed to be, but there's just this element of fun that's built into it. And I see the same thing here with Svdestrada or Svdestrada, however you want to say it. I also see some other influences. I feel like there's a little bit of post-black built in.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm getting some Hard-Carry from the Sky kind of sounds. Even some of the raw screams and stuff are very reminiscent of Garia. I mean, I keep talking about them, but that's just because I love them so much. I feel like it's a kind of a mixture of those 3 bands, and it's a fantastic album. It was the first album I found this year where I was like, wow, this is great, and I'm adding it to my contender list.
Yep.
So I think it's a great pick to recommend as one of the first 3 for the year.
Definitely.
We're going to play a track from this one. Let's see. The track name is called Cierzo, and this is from the album Candela by Svdestrada. We're just going to decide to pronounce it that way.
I guess we'll go there.
Enjoy. Yeah, that's a great track, man.
Yeah.
Good choice. Good choice.
So what do you got?
Let's see. My first song that we're going to play is from a North Carolina band called Abyssal Frost. They released a new album called The Pyre of Flame. It's just a full frontal assault black metal album with these weird eccentric instrumental pieces in between each actual track on the song. The album itself is actually kind of short. It's about 40 minutes, but that's because there's these 30-second to 1-minute interim tracks that they're not boring. They're really pretty melodic pieces, but it's kind of a weird build for the album. I don't really know how else to explain it.
Yeah.
Because the songs don't really flow together. They have these like super harsh, abrasive, melodic black metal tracks that just kick ass. And then you have like this weird kind of Spanish sounding eclectic instrumental thing. And then you go right back into the melodic black metal. Oddly, it works. So yeah. I'm really enjoying this album. I've been playing it a lot since I found it. It's definitely different. And I appreciate that they're trying to do something that's non-standard. So check it out. We're going to play a track from this as well. This is called Hypothermic Amputation from Abyssal Frost. And the album is called The Pyre of Flame.
All right. That was a fantastic album. It reminds me a little bit of the Storm Ruler album that came out last year that had all those interludes in there. And I mean, it didn't detract from that to the point where it got annoying. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, it still ended up on my, top 5, I think. But, yeah, you don't need an interlude track in between every single song. Like, I think we're good. I mean, I already have an issue with, like if you go to, where I cut my teeth on doing this, I used to write reviews for metalcrypt.com. And every now and then I would do like an editorial thing. I'd pick something to write about. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I wrote about was intro tracks. Because, I mean, especially when you listen to a lot of music.
Yep. It's something you and I have talked about a lot in the past.
It just, if that piece of music isn't good enough to turn it into a song, don't put it on your record. That's fine. And then I had somebody explain to me that, well, a lot of the bands will come up with intro tracks because that's what they're going to use as they're coming to the stage.
Okay.
Right? They'll have that music playing as they're coming to the stage. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But I have yet to actually witness that. I have never seen that happen. I've never heard one of their intro tracks as they're coming to the stage. It has never happened. I've definitely heard music playing as bands are coming to the stage, but it's never the intro track.
They're always playing Amorphous while you wait for whatever band to come.
Exactly. It's always never what you thought it was going to be.
Right.
It's like, okay.
No, but I see your point. Yeah, and I like that comparison to that Storm Ruler album. The only thing I will say is that they don't do it between every single song. It's just there are 4 or 5 of those, but the album's only like 11 tracks, I think. So it's not as annoying, I guess, as it was on the Storm Ruler album. And
the Storm Ruler album ended up being like 25 tracks, and it was just
excessive.
Yeah, it was too much. It was too much.
The stuff that was good on that album was great, though.
The songs were absolutely like dominating.
I found myself skipping all the slow parts. But with Abyssal Frost, I will say that the transitions between the black metal song to the eclectic stuff, and then back to the black metal song. They work. They're well done.
Yeah,
it's just so weird.
And kind of unnecessary.
It is. But
it doesn't. Well, I mean, I don't know what they were thinking when they were when they did this. I'm sure they had a particular reason for it. And I'm the last person to tell somebody how they should write their record because I mean I'm a failed musician. I didn't make it. I work in a factory, so I'm the last person to tell you what to do with your record. But when you listen to a lot of stuff, there are certain things that you come across that just kind of bug you a little bit.
We should be like album consultants.
Yeah, no shit. Like, hey, stop with the intros. You're good.
Yeah. No, but I do highly recommend the Abyssal Frost album. I would recommend checking that out. It's a very strong album, even with the weird eclectic songs. Weird doesn't necessarily mean bad. It's just very different, and I can respect them for trying something different. So what's your next album, Christian?
I'm going to go with Sea of Consciousness, and that's self-titled. It's a band that they're mixing a lot of atmospheric black and death metal with that little bit of prog. And, that's something you don't find every day either. And it's just really well done. When you're trying to put those prog guitars into a black and death metal, it can kind of overpower it if you're not careful. You got to get that balance in there because otherwise you're just going to be a tech death band, with the way they go over the top with the guitars, or I guess you call it gent. I don't exactly prescribe to that, but whatever. It can get to that level if you're not careful. But this band, they have a really, really good mixture. Mm-hmm. They never, ever lose that death or black metal sound. It's just basically death and black metal with really good guitar playing. I mean, that's what it comes across as.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to actually check out the whole album yet because we've been so busy working on the site and the podcast, but I did listen to the song that we're going to play, which is called From the Ashes.
Yep.
And it's good. I like it. The vocals don't quite connect with me as much as they do with you, probably.
Yeah.
But I don't hate them. I feel like it's going to grow on me.
They're not super harsh.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this, when we were talking about doing this podcast, about having a a podcast where we talk about gateway bands that could get you to, if you got a problem with harsh vocals. This is one of those bands that I could see being like, that could help you get over that hump of, if you just can't handle those harsh vocals. Yeah.
No, I could see that totally. So it's one that I'm going to have to spend some more time with. I'm going to listen to it a few more times and see if it grows on me. But I do like what I heard from the beginning. So here we go. Let's go ahead and play this one for the guys. It is Sea of Consciousness, self-titled album, and the name of the song is From the Ashes.
Into
It's one of those albums that actually gets better as you go along.
Yeah, I could see that. I like the progressive elements, and like you said, it's not overpowering. It still retains that Black and Death kind of sound. So,
kind of like how, to a slight degree, how Allegiant does it. How they never really go off the rails with their proggy side. It still remains that melodic death metal.
I don't know. I love Allegiant. They're like one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite American bands, I should say. But every single album from them is drastically different from every other album. Yeah. And like if you're talking about Proponent for Sentience or something, you're right. They do have a lot of progressive elements that don't really interfere with the death metal stuff. Damnum was the same way, but like right in the middle of those, you had Apoptosis or whatever, and that album doesn't even sound like Allegiant. It sounds like a purely tech death album where the progressive elements definitely supersede the death metal stuff.
And I don't think it's a shocker that that's my least favorite Allegiant.
Yeah, mine too. Mine too. All right, so my second track is going to be something that I discovered last night. It's the first release from a California band called Upon Stone, and the name of the album is Dead Mother Moon. So these guys are straight up melodic death metal. They have a lot of influences from tech death and Gothenburg sound and even a little bit of metalcore maybe, but at its core, it is melodic death metal the whole way through. Yeah. And the songs are really succinct, and there's absolutely no bloat. And the whole album, I think the runtime's like 35 minutes, and it's like 11 songs. So the songs are short, but they're excellent. Every single song is better than the one before it. The vocals kind of have more of a punky harshness to them rather than like a traditional death metal growl. And I think that's the one thing that might kind of dissuade some people from liking this band. But I absolutely fucking loved this album. I heard it for the first time last night. I've heard it 7 times since then.
Yeah. I mean, it's really good. And so actually the vocals, that's one of the main things I like about it.
Same here.
I like that punky kind of...
I do too.
That it makes it just a little... stand out a little bit. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like about it.
I like a little bit of punkish bleed into my death and black metal albums. Yeah. I like Kveterlack. I like Worm Witch. I like bands that just incorporate a little bit of that punkiness or that crustiness to their music. And
definitely.
These guys are definitely doing that. And I think it's going to end up being one of those albums that's on everybody's end of year list, even if they don't realize it yet.
I can see that.
It's just so good. I think it's a sleeper hit. I was on Twitter last night and I tweeted at the band and I was like, wow, this is a great album, guys. And I mean, I saw like 1,000 other people tweeting them the same thing. So
yeah,
I think the secret's out on this one. So we're going to play a song from it. This is from Upon Stone, the album Dead Mother Moon. And the name of the song is Dusk Sang First. What a great track. I just fucking love it.
Great album. I'm definitely going to be listening to that a lot more this week.
I bought it on vinyl last night. They had like a limited edition release of like 200 or something through Century Media, and I was fortunate enough to snag a copy. I was going to wait, but then I saw how popular it was on Twitter, and I was just like, if I don't get it now, it'll probably be hard to get.
Yeah, it'll sell out.
Yeah.
That's one thing about heavy metal vinyl is if you don't get it when it's first coming out, there's a strong chance you're not gonna.
Unless the band blows up and does like more releases. I mean, but there's no guarantee of that.
Yep.
All right. Well, what was the next one for you, Christian?
All right. My final one is probably going to be what I would consider, like my pick of the week. It surprised the hell out of me, and the more I listen to this, the better it gets. Mm-hmm. It's a band called Dark Oath, and the album is called Ages of Man. But this is definitely one of those records that the more you listen to it, the better it gets. And the more you tend to find things that you like. Is female fronted, but she sounds like you mentioned this, and it really hit home for me. She sounds like early Angela Gasau.
Yeah.
And you definitely hear that. And, honestly, the more you listen to it, I think she's better than Angela.
She might be.
She has those growls down, man. She has those growls down. Super impressive. It's got heavily symphonic elements into it. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's symphonic elements all over this record, and I love that. I personally love symphonic elements on any sort of record. And this one here, it's so expansive. It's really big.
Yeah.
But again, doesn't overpower. It's like...
It just adds to it.
Perfectly, yeah. It just adds to that overall sound.
It's almost like a hybrid of something like Sonata Arctica and Arch Enemy. Early Arch Enemy.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that it's a concept album about the ages of man. So like it starts out in the Dark Ages and then moves forward to like the Bronze Age and the Gold Age. And so like you have all these songs that kind of have, I don't really know how to describe the expansive elements like you're talking about, but it's, you hear Arabian sounding songs and you hear Middle Eastern sounding songs. You hear like, something that sounds like it's from the Crusades, and all this stuff's sort of built in, and it just kind of blows up the sound to like a new degree. And then of course you've got her up there just killing it with the death metal vocals.
Yeah, it just belting it out. And I mean, it's kind of funny because you go through the track listing and the songs are, Gold 1, Gold 2, Silver 1, Silver 2, and it just screams black metal because I don't know how many times I've just seen black metal tracks, just labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, but it works. I mean, there's a lot of great female vocalists out there, but it's very rare that I'm this impressed by one.
Yeah.
And I mean, the first time I heard this, I was like, wow, I love these vocals. And then I said, holy shit, it's a female vocalist. And then I was just like, this sounds like Angela Gasau. It just does.
Yep.
I can't say enough good things about this album. I'm astonished, honestly, that we have 2 Melodeath albums in the same week that are of this level of quality between this and Upon Stone. That hasn't happened in years, that I've had 2 albums that I could see making my end-of-year list in the first week of the year.
Yeah. I mean, I even tried to contact the band. They haven't said anything back yet, but, because right now... you can only get the album via CD or MP3. according to Bandcamp, I guess. And their own personal website only has the CD.
Yeah.
So I sent them a message to see if there's a possibility of a vinyl release, but
keep me updated on that because I want a copy too. I was checking out their website last night as well.
Yeah, I was trying to buy it. It's like, okay.
I think that's a good gauge too. Like if we try to buy the vinyl the first time we hear the album,
yeah,
it's going to be something special.
I've tried to limit my amount of vinyl buying. I tend to go a little too far, and so like I've tried to only buy one album a week.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever I would consider the best album to come out that week is the one that I'm going to try and buy. Now, that doesn't always work because sometimes there's 2 or 3 really good albums that week. I mean, what are you going to do? But yeah, this is definitely, if they have this on vinyl, I'm on this like white on rice. This is really good.
Yeah, I completely agree. So let's go ahead and play a track from it. So this is going to be Gold 1 from Ages of Man by Dark Oath. God, it's just fucking awesome, man.
Yeah. I mean, you could have picked any track off of that album and you'd have been fine. Honestly, I just went with the first one. It kind of tells you exactly what you're in for. Mm-hmm. And then it just doesn't let up for, I think it's 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's about that long. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, to me, perfect length for an album.
I agree.
40, 45 minutes. That's perfect length. You go above that, I think you got some bloat.
Yeah.
It just kind of happens.
It does. Yeah, it's a very concise album. I can't say enough good things about it, except that I'm just going to keep listening to it throughout the year. I'm certain of that. So let's move on to my last pick. This is going to be the band called Infant Island. These guys are from Virginia, and this is their third album. It's called Obsidian Wreath. So this is really kind of like melodic post-black metal. There's tons of emotion built into the vocals and the music, the melodies. It's one of those albums that the very first time I heard it, it sucked me in, and it hasn't stopped. I mean, I've been listening to it regularly since the first time I heard it 2 weeks ago. I bought the vinyl for this one as well. So, and actually these guys just announced they're going to be doing a U.S. tour sometime in April. So I will probably be at their Houston show because I very much dig this. This one might not be as much for everybody because it is a very specific style of black metal. The vocals are harsh to the extreme that you can't really tell what they're saying at all. But the melodies are just so captivating, and the vocals work with the melodies really, really well. So I enjoy this kind of extreme metal. Again, it may not be for everybody, but if it's your cup of tea, check them out. So I'm going to go ahead and play a song now. This one is called Another Cycle, and it's the first track off their album Obsidian Wreath. And again, the band name is Infant Island. Yeah, I dig that. I don't know about you. Do you like that, Christian?
Yeah, it's good. And again, I mean, I guess we could do a whole show on bad band names.
Well,
but,
so
I mean, Infant Island, really?
I'm all about finding excellent bands that have terrible names. I do that regularly in our group chats. And so when I found this one, I was like, God, what a terrible name. But then I looked it up, and Infant Island is actually the name of the island where Mothra lives in the Godzilla world.
Oh, so, all right. Now
so at least there's some kind of like tie to that. I can let it go with that too. But if you don't know that, it does seem like not the best name.
I mean, honestly, the name of the album would make a better band name. Obsidian Wreath? That'd be pretty cool damn band name.
Pretty cool name too. I agree with that. But I like these guys regardless. They have, like I said, 3 albums. So at some point in the next couple of weeks, I plan on going back and hearing their whole discography. And then, like I said, I might go see them on tour in April. Looking forward to that if they come to Houston
I don't
still.
suppose they have a Iowa date, do they?
I'm not sure. We can check. Nope. You're out of luck, man.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
You can always come down here and hang out with me.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the crazy thing is, like Storm Ruler, they're from St. Louis, and they don't even hit Des Moines. They're 5 hours away, and they don't even come to Des Moines. It's like, damn, man. Like,
how often does Slipknot play there?
Well, see, that's something else. They only seem to play like the Iowa State Fair anymore, and I got no idea why that band is as popular as it is, but okay. Hey, if it's your thing, it's your thing. I'm not going to crap on it. Not for me. Definitely not for me.
Yeah, I get that. I actually like the first 2 Slipknot albums. It's something I listened to when I was like in late high school.
Yeah.
Before I really, really like discovered like Swedish melodeath and whatnot and moved into harder stuff. But I'm kind of shocked that they're as popular as they are today. Like, it made sense when nu metal was at the height of its popularity and stuff. But Slipknot's still just like all that Metal Sucks talks about.
Yeah.
Every other post.
Yeah.
Either them or Ghost or Sleep Token these days.
Yeah.
And I just
Sleep Token. Ugh.
I don't get it.
And I mean the whole deathcore thing. I don't really quite get it. But hey, if that's your thing, more power to you. Hey, as long as you're listening to metal, I'm happy.
With deathcore, I feel like a lot of those bands are the kind of gateway bands that are going to lead people of the younger generation to find, heavier stuff. But like, where are you going to go from Sleep Token? That's just like pop music.
Yeah,
it's pop music with a goth facade. To be fair, I like Ghost, but Ghost is the same thing. They're doo-wop music with a satanic edge. Not to say they don't have some hard songs, but
it just seems like a lot of those bands, it seems way more about image than it does the music.
That's all it is. It's pop music with a heavy metal image, which, I guess people want to be part of the heavy metal club. But
and I mean, honestly, the only thing that I have against deathcore is like, hey, just an FYI, not every single song needs a 30 to 30 second to a full minute D-beat breakdown, come on. Not all of them.
Yeah.
Pick your spots.
There are some that I hear on occasion that are not horrible, but a lot of them are very cookie cutter.
Yeah.
That's just how it seems.
And I mean, people could say the exact same thing about power metal, the exact same thing about, black metal. It's very samey. If you've only heard a very small selection. Like, I haven't heard a lot of deathcore. I don't seek it out, so I'm not, if it's labeled as deathcore, I usually kind of avoid it. I might give it a listen if somebody's like, oh, you should listen to that. I'll give it a shot. But for the most part, it's not my thing. Like Funeral Doom. If it's labeled as Funeral Doom, not going to be my thing. It could be the best Funeral Doom album of all time. It's not going to be for me.
I'm the same way. I mean, that's why there's so many different subgenres within metal. And
exactly. I mean, and why that's important.
Yeah, I mean, Funeral Doom is not really my thing either. But if somebody who I know knows my taste and is an expert in that subgenre, and they're like, hey, this album came out, I think it's fantastic, I think you'll like it knowing your tastes, I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, like if Carrie tells me, I know Carrie likes Funeral Doom, if he tells me, hey, you'd probably like this, I'll give it a listen.
Mm-hmm.
But, just on my own, nah, I don't seek it out.
Yeah, I think a lot of metalheads are kind of open-minded to that extent, but I also think that typically we try to stay within our own preferred subgenres.
Yeah, to a certain, I mean, like the only other one that I truly try to avoid is the death metal with the pig squeals, the ultra brutal like
grindcore,
and it's usually produced really, really, really badly. Well, I've heard some grindcore I like, but the ultra brutal, the pig squeals, and then
who would you put in that group? Like Dying Fetus?
Jesus, I don't even know because I avoid it. As soon as I hear the pig squeals, I'm out. Like it just, I just can't do it. I can't listen to a half an hour of pig squeals, and it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. It's so
not really
bad.
for me either. I mean, I don't mind pig squeals as like an accent point in songs, because like I do like a lot of classic death metal, and they have that in there in places, and that's fine. But there's also melody, and there's also a lot more to it than just that. I'm not a big fan of it if it's continuous either.
Yeah, it's also one of those things where they also, a lot of those albums tend to be poorly produced.
Yeah.
And, so it's usually way too heavy in the bass. And so I'm out on multiple levels, I guess.
But the same can be said for black metal. I mean, there's some really, really awful production value on some black metal albums.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, the advent, in the early 90s of black metal, I was out because I just, the super poor production, sounding like it was recorded on a Hello Kitty boombox in your mom's basement.
Some of it was.
No thanks. Yeah, no thanks. Especially when you have stuff, at the gates at the same time, Dark Tranquility at the same time. It's just like, hey, I'm going to definitely go to that.
Some of that stuff, though, like I like raw black metal to an extent. I mean, I love black metal as a genre in general, but with raw black metal, like there can be a certain amount of charm to the low production value. And like you go back and listen to like, the first Immortal album or something, it sounds terrible, but it's a great album.
Yeah, but every time I hear those though, I always want them to re-record it.
Oh,
with modern and
that would be cool.
Better production.
I mean,
like how good would this be
with modern production?
With good production.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I would love to hear some of those classic albums be re-recorded. I think it would work great today, but at the same time, I do appreciate the charm of what it is and the time period that it came from, and the origins of that kind of music. But when an album comes out today that is raw, it's really got to be something special to overcome all the high production value albums that are being released.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you consider, what you were talking about before, that, you can have a professional sounding recording done in your living room at this point. Mm-hmm. I mean, with Pro Tools and everything else, soundproofing that you can do in your home. I mean, hell, I think it wasn't the last Stradivarius album, but the one before that, I think. I saw this making of documentary on YouTube or something. It was like 25 minutes long. And they recorded that whole album at somebody's house.
Yeah.
Stradivarius. And, Stradivarius, they got some money. They don't have to do that.
It doesn't sound like it was recorded in somebody's house. It's super high production. Yeah.
The Nervosa album from 2023 or 2022, that one there was recorded at somebody's house. I saw the making of in that one too. And, the singer is going into a closet and doing the vocals, and so it can be done. And so like at this point, I feel as though you're choosing to have poor production on your album. Mm-hmm. That's the sound that you're going for. And hey, if that's your thing, more power to you. But it probably knocks me out of wanting to listen to it unless I catch something really, really good in there.
It's got to be impressive. It's got to be impressive to stay with you if it comes out today and it's raw.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that pretty much wraps up our discussion about the best albums that we found in the past few weeks. So let's move on to our topic, which is battle jackets. So you mentioned you have one from way back when you were younger, with all those classic death metal logos on it. Have you ever considered making a new one and updating it with more modern music that you enjoy?
Actually, I've thought about it, but back in the day when I was making that jacket, you usually only got a patch and put a patch on when you went to that show. Mm-hmm. And that was your thing. right? You bought a patch at the show and you put that on. And that's how you built your battle jacket, right?
Right.
And nowadays you can just buy patches from an online vendor and, put them all together. And it almost seems like it looks too clean. Mm. Or, I've even seen this is, I don't understand how anybody would do this, but I've seen pre-made battle jackets, right?
Weird.
Yeah, already done, right? You can just buy them off of a rack, and there's online stores that sell them. And you can dictate, hey, are you mainly into death metal? Here's one that's got a bunch of death metal bands on it. And you can buy that. And to me, that seems really weird.
It's kind of...
because it's so far past...
I personally have never created a battle jacket, but I've been going to concerts for 20 years, I love metal shows, and I never picked up patches at the concerts I went to.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately for me to do that, I wouldn't be able to create the kind of battle jacket that you did when you were younger. So I would have to go online and buy the patches that I want and put them on. I would try to do mostly bands that I really enjoy and that I've seen their shows and whatnot. But I would never just buy the whole thing is that it's a personal experience. Pre-made. You're supposed to create it for yourself with the bands that you truly feel passionate about, and I feel like if you're out a show and you have a unique patch on or something and somebody asks you about it, that's like the whole point, at least, is to be able to connect with other metalheads and, proudly display the bands that you really love. If you just buy a generic death metal jacket and you're not even a fan of those bands specifically, it defeats the purpose.
Well, it's kind of like the same, like when you see somebody with a battle jacket on, it's kind of like the same thing as seeing a metalhead out in the wild with his heavy metal t-shirt. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Well, when you're just at the grocery store and you see somebody wearing a Mayhem shirt or whatever, you're just like, oh, snap. Hey, especially if it's underground.
Yeah. I've had that happen a few times.
Yeah. I've had people come up to me and say, oh, that is a sweet shirt.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I remember there was a YouTube skit that some metalhead put together where some guy went to the gas station, was buying milk, and he saw another guy wearing a metal shirt, and they flashed the horns at each other, and then they entered into this eye contact staring contest, and then there was a dreamlike sequence where they were frolicking in the black metal forest and doing all this shit, and they came back to reality. And it's not quite that extravagant when you meet another metalhead in the wild, but it is always nice because not everybody is.
Yeah, well, let's be completely honest. The heavy metal for the most part is pretty niche. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not in the mainstream. Hopefully, music being cyclical, hopefully it'll get back there. It's already. I personally feel like it's gotten stronger over the last 10 years or so.
Yeah,
where you're definitely seeing more bands kind of hitting. So hopefully.
Yeah, I think there's more acknowledgement from the mainstream than there has been since the 80s, maybe.
Yeah.
And bands like Ghost, whether you like them or not, they are not exactly musically metal, but they're metal adjacent.
Yeah.
And there's a bridge to be made there between the mainstream music and metal music. And I think anything that drives people that maybe wouldn't have checked out harder music to check out harder music is a good thing.
Yeah. Definitely. A lot of people kind of shit on Ghost, and they're sellouts. They play arenas. Hey, more power to you. If you're playing an arena,
so is Metallica.
And and if you can get 20 people in that crowd to listen to something harder than Ghost, go on Spotify and at the bottom where you scroll down, other things that you might like, and if they check that out, hey, great. And a lot of people seem to get hate about pop stars or whatever wearing Iron Maiden shirts or whatever. Is a goddamn poser. Whatever. If that gets their fans into, oh, maybe, hey, she likes Iron Maiden, maybe I should check that out. Mm-hmm. Hey, great. I got zero problem with that.
I think wearing shirts, wearing battle jackets, it's it's a sign to the world about what you're about. And if you're honest about it and it's something that you truly enjoy.
Yep.
Then when people, there's always the thing about, you see somebody wearing a shirt and you go up to them and you ask them name three songs or whatever. Girls get that shit all the time. It's stupid. Nobody has to prove if they like something or not. But if you are wearing that and you come across
somebody
else who likes the same stuff, you instantly make a friend.
Yeah. Yeah, and getting back to the battle jacket discussion, like now, I don't put any more patches on my jacket. Mm-hmm. Like I never did cut the sleeves off, but at this point, I don't put any more patches on it, and I'm good with the amount of patches I got. But what I will do is I'll pick up enamel pins.
Okay.
At shows, and I buy way too much merch. I will freely admit that, way too much merch. As
but the bands don't think so.
110 T-shirts I got. It's a little insane.
Yeah, the bands that I love, I take $100 for each band that I love, and I try to spend all of that at their merch table when I go see a show.
Yep.
Because if you're not supporting them, why are they going to come back?
Yeah, especially on heavy metal, they're already playing small clubs. And, let's be 100% honest here. The era of the rock star is gone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not coming back. Private Jets, Metallica and Iron Maiden, that was the last group that had that. Yeah. And that's not coming back. I don't care how good you are. It's not going to happen. You're not going to get... Now, if you can do this for a living, you're already ahead of the game. If you can just do this for a living and not have to have a day slave job.
But most metal bands, especially underground metal bands, aren't at that point.
Yeah.
Even if they've put out 5 albums and every album's been, phenomenal and critically acclaimed, a lot of them are still living, tour to tour and relying on their fans to support them. So Spotify has changed things. People don't buy albums like they used to unless they're like us and they, buy vinyl. But, you got to get out and support your bands. Patches, if you can buy them from the band directly, buy them from the band directly. If you can't, at least wear them and support the band, and maybe somebody else will check them out.
Live shows are far and away the best ways you can support a band. Mm-hmm. Buy a shit ton of their merch. Oh, and tip the girl working the table. That's also appreciated, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
These bands are on a shoestring budget, going from town to town to town. So any little thing that you can do to help them out, they'll remember that.
Yeah.
And they'll definitely come back if they had a good experience.
Yeah, and it's the age of social media, too. So, it's not all that difficult to actually form a real connection with the band, too. Actually talk to them before the show, after the show, get them to sign your stuff. It's cool that you can do that. But yeah, speaking of battle jackets, it's something that I've never done, but I've always considered doing. And in 2024, I set myself 3 resolutions. Number 1 was to start my own heavy metal blog and podcast. So that's what I'm doing with Harsh Vocals right now.
Nice.
Number 2 was to lose 50 pounds. I've been working on losing weight since September. I'm down 67 pounds. Still got 50 to go.
Nice.
Number 3 was to create my battle jacket. So going to be doing that real soon. I've been scouring the internet, looking at patches and stuff, trying to plan it out, figure out what I'm going to do. So it's something that we may discuss in future episodes as well. And then if I finally get it all put together, I'll definitely be posting about the final product. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to do that because I think it's something that most true metalheads have done at some point in their life, and it's just one thing that I've never actually gotten around to doing that I've always wanted to. So I'm excited to be finally embarking on that journey.
As my original battle jacket, I didn't have a back patch, so I actually I took a Sharpie and I drew Eddie's face from Iron Maiden, just his head from the Somewhere in Time album. Mm-hmm. So if you actually look on the inside of my battle jacket, the patch covered it up. I actually have Master of Puppets from Metallica as a back patch. And if you look on the inside of that jacket, you can actually still make out the Eddie head that I drew. It was pretty lame.
Well, I've seen a lot of people do, their own artwork on the back of their jackets, or like if they can't find a big enough patch, they cut up a t-shirt and then use the image from the shirt as their main back patch. It doesn't seem like there's really a wrong way to do it. It's just figuring out what you really want, what bands you want to rep, and then organizing it somehow. So I don't think there's anything wrong with drawing it on.
Well, it's like that. It's like that picture that I sent you, or sent in the group chat.
Oh, the Meshuggah guy
with that guy at the Meshuggah show. Yeah, he had like 43 Meshuggah patches on his jacket.
I knew what he was
like,
about.
Jesus Christ, dude! Like, I take it you like Meshuggah. Like, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. Like,
nobody's questioning.
Crap.
All right, well, let's move on to our pickups section. Have you picked up anything cool recently that you want to talk about, or any shows coming up you're going to, or anything?
Definitely, I picked up the first 2 Cloak albums.
Nice.
On vinyl. Got those. Reacquired the first 4 Death albums. Was able to find that locally here. I mean, they're all represses. I sold my originals back in the day, which was dumb. But, these represses, they were, what, $20 a pop?
That's not bad at all.
It was, yeah. It's like, you got to jump on it when you see it. The Cloak albums, oddly enough, I found on Discogs, and I think they were $15.
Oh, wow. That's a steal.
It's like, hell yeah. So jumped on that. The only show that I got coming up is here in Des Moines. We get a lot of tribute bands that come through, and I honestly don't know why they're that popular, but they are. They're very popular around here. And I think it's February 3rd at a local place is a cover band called Thrash of the Titans. And they only do Big 4 thrash songs, right?
Okay.
And apparently they're going to do the entire Slayer Rain and Blood album.
Oh, cool.
So I think I'll take one of my sons to that.
I feel like a cover show is going to be more tame than like a real show.
That's what I'm thinking too. But I also bought him tickets to Blind Guardian, who is actually showing up here in Des Moines, Iowa in May. And I bought those tickets as soon as it got announced. I mean, Blind Guardian's fantastic. I love that band. It doesn't get much better in the power metal genre than that.
It's not really my area of expertise.
Yeah, it's not your thing.
I have a lot of friends that love Blind Guardian, so I respect it.
Hey, if there is one power metal vocalist that does have a little bit of a harsher edge to his voice, it is Hansi Kirsch. Still not your thing, but yeah. It's definitely my thing. I definitely like me some Blind Guardian.
Cool. Well, for me, I went a little haywire this past November, December, because all of the vinyl sites were having massive winter sales. So I picked up like 30 albums. But because of all the snow delays, I have not gotten any of them yet. The only thing that arrived was Hath's first album of Rotten Ruin. I just got that today right before we recorded. So I'm pretty excited to spend that finally. I'm also excited to see them in concert on the 28th in Houston. It's going to be Hath, Wormhole, and Gorod. So that should be a pretty cool death metal show.
Wormhole is really good.
Yeah, their last really album was great. I actually really liked the Gorod album too, although it didn't make my top 50. And Hath, I've loved since I first heard of Rotten Ruin in 2018. All That Was Promised was just like almost a perfect album. It's so fucking good. So I'm very, very excited to see Hath. If they have patches, I will be buying one for the jacket. I'll probably pick up patches from the other two guys if I can as well. So very excited for that. And then I'll keep you guys updated on my records as they trickle in.
All right.
But that does it for the show. The way we like to close the show is that we're going to play a Blast from the Past song. So since I picked the topic for this episode, the Blast from the Past track that we're going to play is from an album called Nexus Polaris and a band called The Covenant. Real old school mellow black stuff here. The song I'm going to play is called The Last of the Dragons. You know this band, Christian?
I do not.
Oh man, it's a bunch of people from like Wave 1 black metal. It was kind of the first side project of all of them. It was led by Hellhammer, and it's
really?
Yeah, no, it's a very, very good classic black metal album from 1998. It was one of the first that I ever listened to that really turned me on to the genre, and I've seen it come out as a repressing on vinyl recently, so I'm trying to find somebody that has one for a reasonable price so I can pick it up. So anyways, we're going to close out the show with that, so I hope you guys enjoy it. One last time, this is The Last of the Dragons from The Covenant and their album Nexus Polaris. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bang your head.
love the driven boy, and she turns the cycle out the voice and challenge.